GP Carlin Dunne 4-hour endurance race. And I have to say, it was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And it was one of those really genuine events where you really felt that everybody came together to remember somebody. Carlin's friends and family were some of the coolest people I've ever met, and they had amazing stories about his life. And I'm kind of sad that I never got to meet him. But in the spirit of going forward with it, we had a blast and rode his favorite track, and his dad and his friends rode his 450 around the track, and that thing really cool to see, taking around the track, wheeling out of corners and everything. It was really cool. The XR500 was an interesting bike to ride. I was a little scared of it. It doesn't turn very well, it doesn't brake very well. The seat is slippery, and the front tire is about as big as the 50s here. So I ended up taking it out during the practice session and kind of making the judgment call that I think I was slower on it than the 88, which is kind of embarrassing, but I thought I was slower on it, and I didn't want to hold up people in the 4-hour. I also wasn't quite sure I could hold on to it for 4 hours. It was buzzing my hands like crazy. It's a blast in the straights. The turns were a little sketchy. I was sliding around the seat trying to get off and pull the bike over because it just didn't want to turn. I think it'd be a good street bike. A little bit more point and shoot, a little just more fun to just pop around the neighborhood. Wasn't too fun on a kart track, but I also don't ride supermoto, so it could have just been my technique. So what I ended up doing was I rode the 88 for 4 hours. I was the only one that went up because it was last minute and I just made that call, and I was like, I have no idea if my friends are going to want to join me. Nobody could make it, but that's okay. So I ended up running the 4-hour completely alone, and I rode most of it. I think I only came into the pits for about 10 minutes for gas, get some Advil, and just kind of sit there for a second. It was a lot of fun. Because I felt so slow on the XR500, I actually set up a little video of a hot lap on the 500 and a hot lap on the 88 to see what my times were, and this is that video. See, the 88 actually won out. And to be fair, I'm more comfortable on it. I've got way more hours on it. It's pretty easy to ride compared to the 500, so I'm not too surprised that the lap time was better. I thought I'd probably be able to pull out a little bit more from the XR500, but it scared me into those turns. I just wasn't sure if I could get the thing to brake, so played it a little conservative. Overall, both bikes held up amazingly well. The 88 smoking just a bit, okay, enough to make a couple people think that it was a two-stroke, but I'll tear into that. I'm sure it's something small. I think it might actually be a seal, one of the oil seals. Maybe. And I also think that the cam is lubed over. It doesn't want to rev out, so I end up being at like 80% throttle the entire time. The 500 acted like a champ. Didn't miss a beat after I managed to kick it, which took way longer than I want to admit. Bikes doing pretty well. Yeah, so in 4 hours, not one person went down. There were a few off-track incidents and a couple people running out of gas, but honestly, it was one of the cleanest racing sessions that I've ever seen. 4 hours of just non-stop fun. And I can't wait for the 24-hour. And on that news, we hit our goal of $500 for our charity Child's Play for our 24-hour team, which is awesome. I didn't think we'd actually hit 500, but at the nick of time, we just nailed it, and that's coming up not this weekend, but next weekend. So gotta prep the KX65 for that, and that'll be on the next episode. So in the description down below, I'll leave a couple links. One to the Carlin Dunne Foundation, which is an amazing cause, and I'm really happy to see that people are supporting it. M1GP, which is the race organization that I ride with, and also the Child's Play link for our charity fundraising for the 24-hour, which is coming up. We'd love to keep pushing past our goal if we can. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garage, and I'll see you next time.